Hey everyone, Persia here, and I'm going to be your host for this episode of Women of the FGC, Street Fighter V edition. I'm super excited to be a part of this series that is highlighting some of the amazing women in our community and uplifting their accomplishments. We are going to be talking with Equinox Phantom Miria today, and I'm super excited because she's an amazing player and also a great friend. But if you want to know a little bit more about me before we get started, I have been competing in games in multiple genres for over half of my life, but I've been a part of the FGC for over a decade and I've been in love with it since day one. I've competed in various fighting games and I've also gotten a chance to grow my career through the FGC via hosting and commentary, and even secured my dream job at GameSpot, which has been a blessing. And also to give back to the community while I've been working at GameSpot, I've been running EXO Academy, which I founded a few years ago to help women in the community get professional training, not only in the game, but out of the game. We've got physical therapy, media training, marketing and branding, everything you need to build that esports profile. So I'm super excited to not only talk to Miria, who's been through that program, but get her perspective on the community because I know it's gonna be a good one. And I've missed her so much. Miria, how are you doing?
Love, I miss you so much too. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Phantom Miria. I'm a professional player for Team Equinox, and I main Chun-Li, and I'm mostly known because I play Chun-Li, and I've become very good with it.
You hit Tokido with that sick mix-up at EVO a few years back. I'm gonna remember that for a lifetime. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, everyone was shocked.
The whole crowd went off, actually. I loved it. It was amazing and definitely showed people you were there to play. So how did you originally get into Street Fighter, and what were some of the first games that you played in the FGC?
So I started back in 2013 when one of my friends referred me to Kaya Police. I don't know if you guys know her. She's been like my role model ever since. I grew up playing King of Fighters, but I stopped playing when I moved to LA because I moved to LA for nursing school. So when I met one of my friends there, he was like, hey, you know what, like you should get into fighting games again. You should start playing Street Fighter 4. And then he started sending me YouTube videos about Kaya Police. She was killing it back in 2011 at EVO, like bodying everyone. And it was so inspiring to see her. And I decided to start playing. And I mained Viper because I really like the character, and also because Kaya Police was playing Viper.
So what was it about Street Fighter 4 that clicked for you and made you realize that you were invested and you were in it for the long haul with the FGC?
The moment that I wanted to get into Street Fighter was when my friend took me to West Coast Warzone. I wasn't expecting much, honestly, because I come from Mexico and like esports is not that big here. Well, back then, it's getting big now, but back then it wasn't that big. So I wasn't expecting much, you know, I was just like expecting like, I don't know, maybe a small tournament in a garage with a few people in it. But no, when I actually got to the tournament, I was like overwhelmed by all these people, like the stage, everything. So I was like, oh wow, like you can actually make a living out of this.
Now, West Coast Warzone, these early events, these were so many years ago, it seems, but esports has grown so much since then. Throughout all of this time, what really keeps you going and keeps your drive and motivation intact?
The community. The community to me, it's just an amazing place for me. Everyone, I feel loved. I feel admired. I feel like I'm someone that people look up to, and I don't want to disappoint the community.
Tell me a little bit about your experience as a woman in the FGC, some of the challenges you have probably faced, and how you overcame those challenges.
Well, one of the few challenges that I faced was that not only that I was a woman in the FGC, I'm a trans woman in the FGC, so it was a little bit of, you know, like the trans word back then, they were a little bit ignorant about it. So it was a little bit hard at the beginning because I was like the new girl, because we don't have many girls in the community. So it took me about like years for people to get used to my presence and not point me out. At the beginning, it was a little bit ignorant, like I said, but that's just because of lack of knowledge and education, I would say. But once they get to know me, they love me and I love them, and the community is amazing. A lot has changed. Learning from everyone, asking questions, and trying to learn the game itself has been a very fun experience. Back then, I would say I was just decent. People would recognize me for okay, yeah, she plays, she's okay. But now I feel that people really look up to me and they think I'm a very strong player. And I'm like, wow, look where I've come from. And I thought I was always going to be decent, I'm never going to get that good. But it was that moment when I said, you know what, I need to learn this game and be good. And that's when everything changed.
And I really do think people can underestimate how much time it does take to improve and get better and study. It really takes a lot of effort. That's why for the next few moments, I want you to not humble brag, just full on flex about your accomplishments in the FGC and all of the amazing things that you have done since you started.
It was back in 2000, I think it was 18? When I started, you know what, I want to grow my brands. I want to start streaming. I want to get into an esports team and this and that. So the very first accomplishment that I did was in 2018. That's when I joined with Equinox. I got signed by Equinox and that made me very, very happy. Second accomplishment was getting Twitch partner. This was in 2019. That I was streaming for 8-10 hours a day, playing ranked, practicing, preparing for Evo. I'm not gonna lie, it was hard to get to partner, but we did it.
While playing Street Fighter 5, no less, that 100% takes so much mental fortitude, but like you said, you did it.
And when you're putting in the effort, everyone will see that. So next thing is I got into EXO Academy. And EXO Academy helped me so much when it comes to marketing, when it comes to doing interviews like this one that we're doing right now. When all of my mentors helped me so much to grow into the player that I am today. So I will always be grateful for Equinox and EXO Academy that they were for me to give me the push that I needed.
Hearing you talk about it definitely gets me emotional.
I know, me too.
My whole goal behind EXO Academy was to help women in our communities.
Thanks to EXO Academy and having Ludovic as a mentor. He's one of the best chuns out there. He polished my game plan, my gameplay, my chun, everything. And it was because of him and EXO Academy that I actually made it out of pools for the very first time at Evo. I never made out and I had killers in my pool. I had Tokido, I had Torimeshi, and I made it out with Chun-Li, and Chun-Li back then was low tier. She wasn't even that good, but I made it work.
All right, Miria, one more question before you go. What kind of advice can you give to other women and other marginalized genders in our community who are looking to take their first steps into the FGC?
Just don't be afraid to join the community. There are amazing people like me. You have Persia, you have many other people. You can also make friends on Facebook groups or on Twitter, so you can actually meet them in person when you go there and you don't feel lonely. But if you don't meet people like that, we have groups like Combo Queens, we have EXO Academy that helps, like I mentioned before, it helped me and helped many other women in the FGC. But specifically, there's Combo Queens. We do gatherings, we do little parties of only girls that you can meet other girls and you can get around with us, and you'll love it, I promise.
Thank you so much, Miria, for joining us and talking about your journey in the FGC. And for everyone who's tuned in, thank you for supporting the women of the FGC by being here. And if you want to see more of us, then check out some of the episodes that we have up in this series right now. Hope to see you over there, and we will catch you next time. Bye.
PlayStation